was younger, I saw my daddy cry and curse at the wind. He broke his own heart, and I watched as he tried to reassemble it. And my mama swore that she would never let herself forget. And that was the day that I promised I'd never sing of love if it does not exist. Darling, you are the only exception. 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 Maybe I felt somewhere deep in my soul that love never lasts, and we've got to find other ways to make it alone or keep a straight face. And I've always lived like this, keeping a comfortable distance. And up until now I have sworn to myself that I'm content with loneliness, because none of it was ever worth the risk. Well, you are the only exception. 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 I've got a tight grip on reality, but I can't let go of what's in front of me here. I know you'll be here in the morning when I wake up. Show me some kind of proof it's not a dream. Whoa, whoa. You are the only exception. 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 And I'm on my way to believing. Oh, and I'm on my way to believing.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's meditation. As you find a comfortable and quiet space, let your body settle into a relaxed position. Close your eyes gently, allowing the external world to become silent. And focus on your heart center while taking a deep breath in. Feeling the air fill your lungs, and exhale slowly, releasing any tension. Let your thoughts center on the importance of staying the course. Your journey is often filled with twists and turns, challenges and triumph. Like a river flowing steadily towards its destination, your path unfolds before you. The key lies in persisting through challenges, resisting the allure of distractions, and staying true to your purpose. Picture in your mind's eye the image of a resilient tree standing tall in the face of changing seasons. Just as the tree withstands the storms and remains grounded, so too must you stand firm in your commitment to the path you have chosen. Challenges may arise, but they are an opportunity for growth and learning. As you breathe deeply once more, envision the obstacles before you as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Each challenge is a chance to develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. Feel the energy of perseverance coursing through your veins, empowering you to face whatever lies ahead. Recognize the importance of guarding against distractions. In a world filled with constant outside stimuli, it's easy to be lured away from your purpose. Picture these distractions as gentle waves attempting to pull you off course. But you, like a skilled sailor, navigate through them with focus and determination. Now, turn your attention inward and reflect on the goals and aspirations that fuel your journey. Visualize vividly your dreams, and as you do that, you can feel a renewed sense of purpose and commitment. You can let this clarity guide you through moments of doubt or uncertainty. As you continue to breathe deeply, acknowledge the power of mindfulness in maintaining your course. By staying present in each moment, you strengthen yourself. Allow the whispers of external drifts to fade away as you remain anchored in the present, moving steadily towards your destination, which you give graciously to God. Stay in this space of groundedness for as long as you need, making the choice now to always stay true to your choice and to not give power to fear when challenges arise. Knowing that the gentle hand of God is guiding you every step of the way. When you are ready, you can return your awareness to your surroundings, and you can gently open your eyes. Thank you, everyone, and namaste.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's card deck reading. The card deck I have chosen today is the Ethereal Visions by Matt Hugh. Very powerful messages coming your way. So the first card I have received is, the cards are already pre-shuffled and meditated upon. So the first card I received is this one, the Devil. Do not get worried seeing this card. It's just a way to pass a message from God, a strong message from God to you, so that you can come back to your heart. You can come back and you can be taken back to your truth. So it's just a beautiful message that is coming your way. So this is about deviations and being in your own delusions. So if you are being in your own delusion, make sure that you see it, you take a look at it, and you understand your situation or your troublesome areas or the challenges that you're facing is not bigger than you. If you're making it bigger than you, then it's an illusion. It is only a challenge, it is only a place to move through. Make sure that you are not deviating from yourself. Make sure that you're not putting all your focus on your external worries or on your twin flame or on any problems that is currently going on in your life. That problem is only a place to heal. It is an illusion. So you do not have to worry about the problem. You just have to relax and trust God and go back to God and go back to healing. So it's only an illusion. Don't follow the illusion. Don't follow obsessions. If you're obsessing over something, or if you are healing addictions, and if you are deviating yourself with the external, that is maybe the media, deviating yourself with things that you see on TV, or getting influenced by things that you see on social media, then go back to yourself, feel your heart. Do not chase an illusion. Do not chase anything that's delusionary. You are real. Your heart is real. Your feelings are real. Your feelings will be able to guide you towards your goal. You do not have to obsess over your goal. You do not have to get addicted over your goal. You do not have to sort of get scared if the challenges come towards your goal, and just keep moving forward with God. If you have deviated a bit, take a break, pause, and go back to God. That is what this card is showing. Very powerful, beautiful message. And this is the second card, the Lovers. Very twin flamey card. Lovers, whenever lovers come in, it's definitely twin flame energy, and it shows that two polarities also has to come together. So for that, removing all the blocks, removing all the illusions, and coming together. What is your choice? Why are you here? Why are you listening to this card reading or this ceremony? Your choice is harmonious union. Your choice is to stay committed to that choice of harmonious union. So if you are sort of deviating yourself from your harmonious union, or not, you've set your goal. So if you're deviating yourself, go back to it. Go back to God. Your choice is God. Why are you choosing harmonious union? Because you are choosing God. You want to be with God. You want oneness. You want wholeness. So this shows like two polarities coming together, and there's going to be a beautiful wholeness. And for that, you have to put in some effort, and that effort is called mirror exercise, and you are worth that effort, because mirror exercise is loving. So I can feel a lot of resistance towards probably feeling your feelings. So it's give yourself safety or take support of coaches to feel your feelings, so that you can commit to your harmonious union and you can commit to God. So a lot of commitment energy is coming through this. So in case if you are deviating or losing yourself, remember your goal. Your goal is God. Your goal is yourself, and you are worth the effort. If you put that effort in worrying or looking outside, then well, the result is not going to happen, and you are not going to find God or harmonious union or love, right? So going all in, don't leave yourself and go outside. Don't run outside. Look at yourself. Don't blame your twin flame, or he's doing that, she's doing this, or oh, this is what's happening in my reality. Don't stay in victimhood. Just Go back to yourself, claim your power back. Make a choice to claim your power back. Feel your feelings. Feeling your feelings will help you come back to your power. When you are able to feel your upset and bring love there, naturally the problem starts shifting and you will be able to come back into your power. So, and this is your goal. Harmonious union is your goal, and your one true love, which is God through your twin flame, is your goal. So there you go, that's what's coming up in this card. And in the last card, what is coming up is beautiful again. Nine of Cups, very strong, clear messages today. So God's loving us like that. So Nine of Cups is showing that time for completion. Choose completion. Don't think that your harmonious union or whatever goal you have set will take forever or it can't reach completion. Just reach completion in your mirror exercise. Go back to basics. If you reach completion in your mirror exercise, you will be able to reach completion in your goals too. You will be able to reach completion in your goal to going back to God, going back to harmonious union, going back to your life purpose. So not to worry. So you don't have to worry even if you have deviated. You just have to stay committed to your goal, and you have to basically uh, reach completion. Make a choice to reach completion. That choice will come with you going back to basics, going back to mirror exercise, and just maybe writing mirror exercise and choosing to complete. So what I can see is a little bit of a running energy where you're not able to stay present, or avoidance energy. So in case if you're not able to sit down and mirror and reach the 4 steps of mirror exercise, the 4 steps of mirror exercise is mandatory, and it is very important because that's when it sorts of merges in, and it is sort of grounding into your system to make the shift in your energy field. So it's important that you do all the 4 steps and you reach completion of mirror exercise, and then that completion will help you reach completion in all your goals. This shows success. So success is undoubtedly yours if you reach completion, and the easiest process is mirror exercise. I hope everybody enjoyed this beautiful card reading. Thank you so much. Enjoy the further ceremony. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Neelam. Welcome to today's Sunday service. I take the privilege today to invite Minister Lisi to present the sermon here on the topic drifting versus staying on course. Drifting meaning that we lose track of our goal, we divert from our goal, we quit on what we were doing to achieve that goal. And Lisi talks about it in the sermon, elaborately covering all aspects of why we drift on the journey, why we drift on our path to achieving our goals, and what happens when the drifting happens, and how is it that we can avoid the drifting from happening. And in case we do drift, how do we get back on track, and how do we begin doing what we need to do to get to our goals. And in the sermon, she talks about a very personal experience of hers on how the spiritual challenge that came made her drift away from her goal with her twin flame along, and how she got back on track, and how she made new choices to do that. It's all in the sermon, and it's so profound. I'm so excited about this sermon because I remember that in my twin flame journey, I have drifted for more than one time. There have been number of times when I have quit doing my inner work, or let's say slowed down my inner work. And like Lisi mentions in the sermon, it's about you losing the momentum when you drift away from your goal and from the path. And that's what happened with me. And I recollect those small drifts that happen in my journey, in my twin flame journey, whenever my twin flame would show me something in the external that was not pleasant, and he would like be with somebody else, and that would like trigger me to the extent that I would stop trusting the journey, and there would be fears that would seep in, and I would want to let go the journey. I would let go the inner work, and yeah, all of that has happened a number of times. But yes, one big incidence, or let's say a real drifting that happened in my twin flame journey, was when I confessed to my soulmate, my husband, about how I want to lead my life. I wanted to be emotionally, financially, physically, in every way independent, and that was something that was a deep desire inside of me, other than having that one love in my life. And I acknowledged it after doing the work here with the teachings of union, and I expressed it to my soulmate, my husband, and it all concluded to me expressing that I need to have my own finances in place. I need to be, uh, you know, living alone and having my own apartment and all of that. And yes, my soulmate was very cooperative. He was very, very understanding in the whole process, and that was the beautiful part. But that was the part that brought guilt inside of me, because the people around me, my family, my friends, would tell me that why would anybody want to live a comfortable life and want to live independently, and how is this codependency hurting you in any way, like you're blessed and all of that. And there was these doubts that came inside of me, and the feeling that I'm going to be unsafe if I become independent. So all the external noise and all the external opinions of people really affected me, and I kind of stopped doing the inner work. You can say I stopped listening to the classes, because I felt that, oh, this path is tough, it's difficult, and it's maybe leading me away from my own people, or it's making me insane, and all of that happened. But the best part was that there was a structure in my life, and the structure was that my group class coaching with my coach once a week was so regular. That is something that I never quit on in all these 3.5+ years of mine. And during the group coaching, these upsets would come up regarding my guilt with my husband cooperating with me, and me getting feeling insane. All of that was healed in those sessions, in the group coaching sessions. And thankfully, because I had that structure in hand, I was able to get back on track with my inner work, healing those blocks to believing that I do not deserve independence. I healed them all. And yeah, there was a loss of momentum, like Lisi will mention in her sermon. There is a loss of momentum when we drift away, but then there's always a way back. And I did find the way back, thankfully, because I had a program over here. I had the teachings of union, I had the classes, I had the coaching, I had all that was there to support me over here in the community. And so I got back on track. I started doing my inner work with more faith, and things fell in place, and I felt more good about being independent, and the guilt went away. There was this feeling that I am divine and I deserve all that I desire, and so does everybody, and it's going to be for the highest good of everybody if I just follow what feels good to me. And I got back on track, and I was like, yeah, I have my own apartment today, and I live quite independently. I won't say completely, but I'm on the way, and I can see myself heading towards my goal more and more every single day, and it feels good. It feels that yes, I'm back on track. And it's lovely to acknowledge that there can be some challenges, like Lisi will be mentioning in the sermon, but we need to look at those challenges as places, as hurdles we need to cross, rather than places that we need to quit and places that we need to drift. We need to become aware. These kind of sermons and are really going to make us aware in our path, wherever the drifting can happen, and it can make us aware of how we can stop that from happening and keep working, and in a good momentum towards our goals. So yeah, it's a lovely piece, and I'm sure you all are going to have great takeaways from this sermon, because drifting is not something that can happen only in the beginning of your journey when you've started your inner work, or when you're a beginner, something like that. But it's going to happen anytime if we are not in awareness. And this sermon is going to bring us to that awareness, that Drifting is a possibility with everybody, and it can be taken care of. Yeah, so I invite you to visit unionism.org and show your love there. Contribute there so that we can spread the teachings of union throughout the world. And I'll meet you at the end of the sermon. Hope you'll enjoy the sermon. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisi, and welcome to today's Sunday service. I'm going to be your minister today. So let's start with our 3 opening Oms. You can say them out loud or quietly in your heart. And now for our opening prayer. I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word. Today I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Amen. So today's sermon is all about drifting versus staying the course. And I love this topic. It's something that I am personally involved in myself on my own journey. And I'd love to share my own experience and how I applied the teachings of union and things that Jeff and Shaleia have taught about this. So to start, drifting, the word drifting, to define it as I am defining it, is something that an author, Napoleon Hill, talked about in his work, Outwitting the Devil. And Napoleon Hill basically said, you are drifting when you're in a state of aimlessness and lack of purpose in one's life. And he suggests that drifting occurs when individuals allow themselves to be carried along by external influences without taking control of their thoughts and actions. Drifters lack definiteness of purpose and are easily swayed by circumstances and the opinions of others. According to Hill, drifting is a dangerous state that leaves individuals vulnerable to negative influences and prevents them from achieving their goals. He argues that those who drift are more susceptible to fear, doubt, and other destructive emotions, which can hinder personal development and success. To counter drifting, Hill emphasizes the importance of having a clear and definite purpose in life, backed by a strong desire and plan for achieving that purpose. By taking control of one's thoughts and actions, you can avoid drifting and create a more intentional and successful life. So to talk about like how drifting looks, like what is drifting in your life or in everyday life? Well, a common example, and Napoleon Hill uses this in his work, smoking. Someone who smokes or drinks a lot, they're susceptible to drifting because the energy of kind of escaping yourself and escaping what you're presently working on and choosing to numb out is kind of opening you up to be kind of carried by the currents of life, like a leaf being blown by the wind. And what Jeff and Shaleia teach us is that's not how we co-create with God. We create with God, together with God. and God guides our steps with us. We choose with God, and it's a very intentional thing. I was thinking about, what would drifting look like in an extreme example here on Earth, and I came up with, let's say that a woman goes to a bar and has way too much to drink, doesn't create a plan to get home, ends up walking home in a bad part of town and in a street that's very dark and gets mugged and then ends up back at home without her wallet, right? And that's like a good case scenario at best. The point of that is that we're not victim blaming here. The woman didn't set up a plan in my story to um, navigate back home. There was an open end there. There was an opportunity for something outside of her to choose for her, right? And in a sense, if you leave that opportunity open, then you've made that choice. Now, again, we're not blaming victims. That's not okay for someone to have mugged the woman. It's important that you become very present with all of your choices from start to finish and use logic in planning. Something that I think of, and I'm a big Star Trek fan. I think of the Next Generation, the series. It was formed in the 80s, I think. Captain Jean-Luc Picard always receives direction from the admiral back on Earth, and he's in the Starship Enterprise, and he tells the commander, the first mate, to lay in a course to the gamma system or wherever they're going. They have direction, purpose, and guidance, and it's very clear. And they go all in, and he fires up those nacelle engines as two, long pieces of the ship that's where the warp core engines are. And they get fired up, and then they zoom at 9 times the speed of light to wherever they're supposed to go. Now, that is a very clear directive and a clear intentional direction where you're laying in a course to that place. There's no deviation from that. The Starship Enterprise doesn't stop and go to the bar on the way to the gamma system, right? There's no breaks. There's no, well, maybe halfway through, get up to warp 6 and, oh, well, you know what? I'm not ready to go, right? Like, that's not what Jean-Luc Picard does in the show. You just go straight there. Now, when you've set a course and when you're walking towards that goal, there will be things and challenges and things that arise that might present an obstacle along the way. And you just face that when you get there. I want to tell you a story about my life and something kind of personal to me. Josh and I, my twin flame Josh and I, had made the choice to move to Michigan. We want to be present to support the physical church in its foundation. So I took the first step. I worked with my coach, Chrissy, and I quit my day job. I quit the job that I had. That was a very supportive job, but I was ready to take the next step. My other business, helping other people, my life purpose business, that was doing really well. I felt really good, supported. I looked at my numbers. We could definitely do this. Like, it was a go. There were other numbers that we needed. We needed to look at our savings. Did we have enough to move? Did we have enough to put a down payment on a house or a rental apartment? Those pieces were question marks, but logically speaking, we could probably have figured this all out. So I put in my 2 weeks notice. I let go of my job, and I was very much carrying this momentum forward towards Michigan. And I was actually looking, hey, maybe we can move in November. We had originally looked at April. That would be great. We could get in before the snow set in, and it would just feel good to be up there. But what happened next was a spiritual test for me and Josh in my union. We had some difficulties with the retirement check that came in that wasn't as much as I thought. There was a relapse. There was a lot of things going on that were these tests and challenges And I will be honest, I got scared. I drifted in that moment. I got a little bit jarred off course from my very straight goal. And so all the momentum and the energy kind of deflated from my choice. Now, there's a happy ending here, don't worry. Thank goodness for the teachings of union that have kind of like a fail-safe system. If you participate in it, if you get regular coaching, if you're watching Twin Flame Ascension School in Life Purpose class, you have a support network built for you. You've put that in place so that when things like this happen, when I, made a mistake and drifted and was susceptible to fear, I could be guided and encouraged back on track. And thank goodness, thank God bless everybody here at the church, my coaches, and Jeff and Shaleia. And so once this was pointed out to me, I was able to make that choice again and course correct. And not only did I make that choice again, but I had to understand why I drifted in the first place. I noticed in my life that I had a pattern of booms and collapse, boom and collapse in my life purpose, in my business. And these patterns didn't feel good to me, but I couldn't understand what was really going on. And it wasn't until we explored this concept of drifting, and I started to see where precisely where it was that I drifted. It was almost like an overconfidence in the momentum being carried on, and I could just kind of sit back and kick my feet up and relax and let something drive the ship for me, right? And I noticed, no, I still must very proactively intend to move forward. And when these challenges arise, because they will, instead of collapsing or bucking in fear, I was going to choose to move forward through those. So this could be anything. In my case, it was my journey to Michigan. We're now back on course to that. This time, we did notice that we hadn't thought it out clearly yet. And so there was some drifting, but there was also a realization that we needed to get very clear on all of those pieces we needed in order to move, because we want to move in a strong foundation. We don't want to gamble on a move. We want to build it with God, and God doesn't gamble. God is very solid. And I know I'll be supported, right? It's not of fear, but out of logic and planning. And that's something also that my coach can help me with as I do that with Josh. But drifting can occur not just with this, but like if you're looking at your twin flame union, let's say that you're full steam ahead watching Twin Flame Ascension School and healing those blocks, and you've got a text from your twin flame, and wow, you're feeling great, you're able to sleep the night, you're not anxious anymore. But then you see a picture of your twin flame and they just got engaged, and you see it on Instagram. And these moments, these crucial pillar moments, that you move forward and you are challenged, be very vigilant with your consciousness and continue to stay the course anyway. You are going to be challenged. I was challenged. I wasn't expecting the challenge that I received. But you are fully supported in committing to your harmonious twin flame union and your true divine life. You're supported in committing to the life that you desire with God. You don't have to settle. Do not fear. And if you fear, go forward anyway, right? Courage is being afraid and moving forward anyway. So that was really an important lesson for me, but I think it can apply to everybody with everything. It can be with your health. Maybe you're moving along and you're trying to really get fit, and then all of a sudden you get cancer. Like that happened to me, right? You're moving along and you want to have the perfect life purpose, goals and wealth, and then you get into a fender bender and you have to pay a lot of money for a repair, right? So things happen. they're not happening because you're failing. They're happening to strengthen you, to strengthen your resolve. I want to read a quote from Jeff and Shaleia here. So once you make a choice, and this isn't the quote yet, but this is leading up to it. Once you make a choice to go all in, then stick with that choice. Jeff and Shaleia write, you can't go back when you've inked a decision in spirit. There can be some very uncomfortable choices that you can make that will lead to you down an incorrect path for a very long time. That's not worth pursuing. These choices to choose God instead can be very uncomfortable, can require enormous courage and faith. So yes. So how do you make it so? How do you continue forward when things get challenging? And these fears and these challenges come when you least expect them. What do? The key is perseverance and discipline. When you discipline your mind, when you're watching Twin Flame Ascension School on a regular schedule, I recently added a regular schedule of watching classes to my daily routine. When you're meditating every day, when you're writing out your mirror exercises, when you've got a framework that provides that support for your discipline, then you're going to be less susceptible to drift. Getting a disciplined structure in place really helps. I am a sticker chart girl. I love structure. The Ascension coaches have a system where if we want to participate to a varying degree, there's a structure for how we connect with audiences instead of just willy-nilly going here and there. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a structure, you're going to leave yourself open for drifting or open for someone else to come in and try to create in your reality. When you put a foundational structure in, this really helps you to support yourself to not drift and to keep going towards your goal. Another quote from Jeff and Shaleia, continue what you started until it's done. Take everything that you love to its completion. Never stop until it's complete. That's from Life Purpose class. So it's not complete until it's complete. You'll know it's complete when you've attained your goal. If my goal is to move to Michigan, that'll be complete when we're in the door in the house, close the door, lock the door, and we're eating our takeout and unpacking all of our stuff in our new home. That's complete, that particular goal. There's going to be other goals. It's not complete until it's complete. And you're going to be invited to heal everything that comes up that is along the path towards that goal. So what I want you to take away from this is I don't want you to be afraid of drifting or maybe you have a pattern of moving forward, and then when something becomes challenging, you get scared, you get like you jump the gun, or you get shy, or whatever it is, whatever you do in response to fear. I want you to know that you're supported to move forward. That was one thing that I felt when I really examined, this energy of collapsing and being susceptible to these fears. I didn't feel supported, but God is your support. God is always here, and God is always providing you the tools to allow yourself to feel safe and supported to move towards your goal. One thing that I realized is, like I said about, coming up with a structure, that structure is your support. When you put that in place, it's like imagining like a car around you. It's a large hunk of metal around you. It's a structure, right? It's a container for you to go and move forward. I think Jeff and Shaleia talk about this in T Faster Life Purpose class. I didn't prepare this quote, but I remember it in one of the classes. They talk about you're going down the bowling alley or the bowling ball, and you've got bowling alley bumpers in place, right? So the ball can't drift into the gutter. And that's what the structure is. And that's what the teachings of union provide. it's a robust structure. So I've just spoken to a few parts of the structure of the Church of Union, which are TFAS, Life Purpose Class, Ascension Coaching, and Writing Out the Mirror exercise. But there's more. There's the community. There's divine gaming. There's the mind alignment process. There's all of these branches. There's divine dish. I want to talk about divine dish as a structure. So it provides a menu for every meal of your day, 7 days a week. And that support and that structure is just so relieving, because your brain has a certain amount of energy that it can contribute to decision making. It's in the prefrontal cortex. It's the place where you make decisions. In the decision making, it takes a lot of energy to load that in. That's why it's really hard for people when they go grocery shopping to make wise choices when they're hungry. Because when you're hungry, you're depleted of energy, and you're not able to commit as much energy to this decision-making part of your brain when you're hungry. And even when you've eaten already, let's say that you've eaten, but you've just got done with a hard day of work and you're about to grocery shop, again, it's a very high cost in your brain to make decisions. And so the structure of Divine Dish, and this is just one beautiful aspect of Divine Dish, the structure of it is such that that decision-making part is done for you. So you can relax and actually focus on your relationship with the food, your relationship with, your grocery list. Well, all I need to do is just get the stuff that's on the list. I don't have to do anything else. And then move forward. And relaxing into structure can really help you feel safe, supported, and confident that you are held as you move forward, that you're doing this holding God's hand as you move forward. So embrace structure, embrace self-discipline, and set a course for your goals. Engage, right? I put in a whole bunch of Star Trek quips into this show. If you're a nerd, you'll get them. But I think it's time. I think that feels good. I think it's time for our closing prayer. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may be forever in union with you. I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word, and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask, and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Amen. Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them, and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator. And now for our closing ohms. Thank you so much for being here with us this Sunday. Don't forget to visit the unionism.org website, where you can find all past sermons and donate or tie to the Church of Union to expand the love that the church is giving to the world. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and great rest of your week. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the sermon. It was such a profound piece by Lacey. I'm sure you all agree with me. I like the way Lacey began the sermon talking about Napoleon Hills and what he talks about drifting. He says we do not need to give too much of importance to what's happening in the outside. When we give too much of energy to the external world and to what's happening outside of us, there are more chances we become more susceptible to fear, and that's the time that the drifting happens. This is kind of a warning in the sermon, or you can say an awareness tip that is there in the sermon, which we can use in our life when we are heading towards some goal. That going outside and getting affected by what people are saying and what people are doing and what's happening is something we need to avoid if we do not want to drift on our path. I like the whole experience that Lisi shares about her own journey and how she drifted and how she got back on track by making new choices. It gives us so much of hope that it the show must go on, and that there's always a way back when you have a structured program. And yeah, I like the place where she even compares structured program to a bowling game. The ball will move in the direction that it needs to move towards where it's heading and where it needs to move only when you have those stoppers, those boundaries on the side of the bowl. That's how you can prevent the ball from getting distracted and getting off track and getting drifted. So it's so nicely compared to our own journey. If we want to stay on track and we want to achieve what we are heading towards and not get distracted, the best way is to have a structured program. That's what Lisi talks about, that we have it all over here. The classes we have, the teachings of union over here, we have all of the community over here, the voluntary work we have, the coaching. So all of it over here makes that structured program that can help you stay on track and make you head towards whatever goal you want to achieve. And yeah, and Lisi talks about blooms and collapses pattern in her life. I like that part because it's happened with me. Like, there've been places where I felt, oh yeah, I'm on the right track, I'm feeling peaceful, I'm getting independent, and there's this overconfidence kind of a place, I would say, that seeps in, and then boom, there's a challenge that comes, and then I drop down. And Lisi talks about it, that this has happened in her life until the time she didn't know that there is a concept of drifting. When she learned it, she realized that why those patterns were happening, why the blooms and collapses were happening. So you can be on in one pace, you can prevent losing your momentum when you're on any journey to achieving something, by actually knowing the concept of drifting and knowing how to be aware of it and how to stay on track. Yeah, I like the whole sermon in total because it is something that we can keep handy while we are trying to achieve any goal in life. And yeah, thank you for joining us in the sermon. Please do visit unionism.org and show your love there, donate there. You can watch our previous sermons there, and like and subscribe our YouTube channel, Twin Flames Universe YouTube channel. And you can watch our previous sermons there, and also you can participate in the after tea time discussions that are done by the unionists over there, discussing and sharing their viewpoints on all the topics of these sermons. And in case you want to be a part of those after tea time discussions and be live with them, you can be live with them on our Facebook group. And yeah, and hope you all have a great week ahead. And thank you for joining us once again. And thank you, Lisi, for this beautiful piece. See you all next week. Namaste.